Welcome to another Creaky Gamers Battle Report. Let's hope they know what they're doing.
Okay, g'day viewers, welcome to round 2 of Moab, and it's pumping down on the floor there. And now we're up against the Dark Elves. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for the old Dark Elves. I had a Dark Elf army back in the day. Had lots of Cold One chariots and stuff. I think I used to run 3 or 4 Cold One chariots, and the stupidity used to drive me nuts. Anyway, I'll put up the list in a minute. We're just still deploying. He's putting his scouts. He's trying to get these guys to scout behind me there, and he's trying to put these guys here as well. So he's got some Dark Riders that are scouting. There's a Scourge Runner chariot and some Harpies, a dragon, crossbows. I think they're Doomfire Warlocks, more Dark Riders, etc. I think he's still a bit too close to my chariot there for his scouts. I'll put up the list here, and it's a double dragon list. So he's got the Dreadlord on the dragon with Talisman of Protection and the Ogre Blade, and then he's got a Supreme Sorceress on a dragon, Ruby Ring, Pendant of Caliph, Focus Familiar, Tomb of Furion. Okay, so who cares what the Sorceress has got? It's on a dragon. So 2 dragons. So we'll see how we go here. And then plenty of shooting. What else are elves going to do? Because their infantry sucks. So they're going to take crossbowmen. Plenty of them. 15 of them. Dark Riders. 3 units of Dark Riders. 2 of them are scouting. Big unit of Shades. They're a lot. 319 points for those Shades. Anyway, this is the deployment. I'm trying to hide my chariot there. I'm learning my lesson with my chariots gradually. I don't want them to die on turn 1 to things. The boys in the middle, boys on the hill there and so on. And he's still, these guys are still too close. He's trying to get them behind my lines, but they're still within 12 of the Great Keith. So he's going to have to put them somewhere else. There's his Shades up the back. He hasn't deployed them yet. He's got his Black Dragon up there behind the forest, and these guys have scouted. So that's the start of the battle. Those Shades haven't been deployed yet. They're going to be over here. So he's got his the big Dreadlord on the dragons behind the woods. He doesn't want to get shot directly with the bolt shooter and the rock lobbers, etc. So he's going to try and sweep around this flank. This chariot's feeling pretty lonely here. And then shoot the crap out of me with all these crossbow shots. Those crossbows, they fire a lot of shots. It's very tedious because it's 3s to hit, and then -1 for multi-shots, long range, moved, etc. There's a lot of dice that don't do that much, really. Anyway, that's the deployment. My plan is to hold and maybe try and fend off a dragon. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's have a look at turn 1.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Okay, so turn 1, and I forgot about the deployment. We weren't deploying on the flanks there, and we're a little bit further up the table. So I put my Black Orcs out, and then I took advantage of that deployment to put the Night Goblins out in front of them. So maybe I could get some early shots on. So I put these Night Goblins a little bit further forward, because I know the Dark Elves were going to outrange me. I thought I might get a cheeky first turn shot in there, but the Dark Elves won the roll-off. So these guys are going to move around. The dragon's going to jump over the woods there. So he's going to attack on this flank. Not much I can do about it. This poor lone chariot. I had to put this chariot out here to stop him scouting on my flank. So he's isolated out there on his own. So he's done his job, but they've still got the wood on me on this flank. My left flank is severely exposed, and then he's just going to let loose with all these repeater shots and so on. His Sorceress on the dragon's going to have to poke her nose out from behind the building up there. So she's going to have to come out, cast some spells. And that's where I'm going to attack. I'm going to have to try and attack that dragon. No way I can handle 2 dragons. If they both come in at the same time somewhere, the Black Orcs can't hold them. It'll be all over. So I've got to do something, at least try and slow him down. Then in my turn, these night goblins, they're all ranked up. So they've moved up. I've got Evil Sun shining on them. This is in my turn 1. And then I use my new favourite spell. I've got the little night goblin odd knob in there as well. My new favourite spell is Travel Mystical Pathway. So I use the normal goblin odd knob to drop them over there. So he got them into position, and then they're going to let loose with a whole volley of shots into the dragon. And I fire everything I can at that dragon. I think I'll probably just do 2 wounds. So I'm going to try and slow that dragon down before the Dreadlord gets around on my left flank. That's the only hope I have. The Great Keef's threatening, but he doesn't really want to fight dragons. He's a lover, not a fighter. He doesn't like fighting things bigger than him. He likes to pick on little things, so he's going to go after the Scourge Runner Chariot, which is just off to the right there behind the building. Now I did do, well, that's the boy. The boys have jumped over there. I did do a little bit of damage there to those, I think they're Doomfire Warlocks, and that's a Foot of Gork. I've got to get myself a nice Foot of Gork template. Not that I like the Foot of Gork, it does more damage to me than anything else. And then here, I released 3 Fanatics through here. And look, I think there's only 1. I can't remember exactly, but I think 1 made it. I rolled doubles for the other 2. So that was a big plan to hold this flank off. I did do some damage to those Dark Riders, but only 1 Fanatic survived. Then next turn my plan is here to release Fanatics here, through them and into the dragon. Let's see if that works. But, yeah, so the boys, they're shooting. I did a couple of wounds to the dragon. So not enough. I was hoping to do more. Yeah, so that 1 Fanatic went through there. I don't think I might have killed 1 Shade and a few of the Dark Riders. If I got 3 Fanatics through there, it would have been quite devastating. But 2 of them choked themselves, which is just a bit of luck. That's, you live and die by the randomness of the Fanatics. Sometimes they seem like they're over the top, and then sometimes they don't do much at all. So the dragon is poised to jump over, so he's attacking on this flank. Let's see what happens in turn 2.
Turn 2.
Okay, so we're into turn 2. So these boys, the plan, they're going to drop some Fanatics out here and maybe do some damage to the dragon. He's saying, really? If they got 3 again, so out come 3 Fanatics. There they are, the 3 Fanatics are there. Let's hope I can get some through the dragon, but they're pretty ineffective versus dragons anyway. 5s to wound them and so on, so it's a bit of a waste. Maybe I can kill some crossbows as they go through. And then here, my poor chariot, they've shown utter disdain for my chariot and just left him there, jumped over the top and moved around him. And that Fanatic, the 1 surviving Fanatic there that did a little bit of damage, he's just sat in the spot now. He rolled a hit. So the grey dragon there has manoeuvred out to my left flank now. What happens next? My night goblins are copying a bit of shooting in the middle there from the repeater crossbows and the Dark Riders. And then I do send 2 Fanatics make it through the dragon. I don't think I did any wounds at all, really. Ineffective, killed a couple of crossbows, but that's about it. So 2 Fanatics behind the dragon, you can see. And then in my turn, the Great Keef's going to go after the Scourge Runner Chariot. The harpies are flapping about. Yeah, so there's the dragon out on the flank. The magnificent 7 squig hoppers are sort of stuck there. There's only about 4 of them left. So he's just whittling me down with shooting, and I'm doing the same. And then we're waiting for the dragon to commit. So he's shuffled his dragon over a bit, and I do get some shots on the dragon, but you can see I've lost nearly half of my night goblins there. So that unit, they passed their panic test, but they're still there, but there's not many of them left. The Great Keef went over there and smashed that chariot. He likes easy targets like that. Then I did everything I could. I got Itchy Nuisance off on the dragon, etc. And shot it with everything. And did a couple of more wounds. But it's still there. He's going to get desperate soon and have to send that dragon in. And then the chariot's going to get into the crossbows, I hope. I've had to reform the Black Orcs because of all this threat coming here. So the Black Orcs have turned to face the dragon. The Squeak Hoppers are going to sacrifice themselves. And those little Night Goblins, they don't care about dragons on their flank. They're shooting at those Dark Riders. And I didn't do any damage at all that turn. You can see my Rock Lobber, it misfired, took a wound and not firing next turn either. The Doom Divers have been ineffective because I've been trying to kill that dragon and either I'm missing or rolling ones to wound or he's passing his ward saves. So those little Night Goblins up there are doing a little bit of damage to the dragon, but they're about to die, I think. If that dragon decides to charge them, that'll be all over for them and the little Night Goblin Odd Knob in there as well.
Turn 3.
Alright, turn 3. The dragon's jumped over. He hasn't actually committed the dragon yet, but he's trying to outflank my Black Orcs. The Squeak Hoppers in the middle there are getting shot up. There's only 2 left out of the Magnificent 7, the boss and another little mate. So they're there. He's having to waste some shots into them. He put some shots into the Black Orcs as well, but they're 3-up armor save versus shooting, so they're pretty resilient. But it's only a matter of time. And then you can see here he's put the dragon right near the table edge. I do have Wind Blast, and so I tell him I'm not going to cast Wind Blast because he may not know about what that spell does. So I give him a chance here to move the dragon away next turn. So I could have Wind Blasted the dragon off the table, but I didn't do it to him because it's a bit mean if you don't know what Wind Blast does. So, if he does it again, I'll do it. And then over here, his dragon's had enough. She's had enough, the sorceress. She's gone into the Night Goblins, and she's just going to smash them. And they're going to break. Fail, I think I rolled a 10 or 11 or something. No BSBs around, so he kills the Night Goblins. They were being annoying, itchy nuisance, and so on his dragon. But the dragon just comes in, just wipes them. Wipes out about, I don't know, a lot of them. And they fail and run away. They passed their terror test, which was pretty good, but they're going to die. And then he's forgot about this chariot. Utter disdain for my little chariot here. I've turned him around, and then he's just moved past and just shot everyone. So my chariot's going to make them pay there because they've just ignored him. And his dragon's trying to get a flank or something on the Black Orcs. I think if the dragon just went into the Black Orcs, he'd probably just kill them anyway. But at least I'll be stubborn for a turn. So there you go. That's the end of the brave Night Goblins who were trying to assassinate a dragon. A foolish escapade, I'd say. I got a chariot there that's going to get into those crossbows, hopefully. But that's the end of my Night Goblin Odd Knob and those brave boys that were trying to do something to the dragon. Ineffective. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Turn 4.
Okay, so we're getting towards the end here. Turn 4, and you can see his dragon has moved around again. And he's right on the table edge again, so he's going to be open to a Wind Blast if I can get it off. My chariot, 1 wound left, has chased off 1 unit of Dark Riders and then redirected onto the other 2 and killed them. So that chariot has done pretty well. Taken account of 2 units of Dark Riders. Then those shades are going to get stuck into him. I've got my Goblin Odd Knob is in the Black Orc unit. And those Night Goblins in the centre, they don't care about anything. They just want to shoot some elves. And over on the other side, the Great Keef came back after killing the Scourge Runner chariot. He's popped over the building here, and he's eyeing off an attack on that dragon. But the dragon's just going to manoeuvre out of the way. The other chariot's got into the crossbows. Yeah, so there's my brave chariot, taking care of 2 units of Dark Riders. Yeah, so I think at this point I warned him about Wind Blast, and so he's just going to move the dragon up along the side of the board again and try and use his breath weapon on the Black Orcs. So dangerous to stick your dragon near the table edge, especially if someone's got Wind Blast. But I suspect he didn't know about the spell, so I didn't cast it this turn. But then when he does move up again and leaves him on the table edge, I get desperate and I cast Wind Blast on him. So we'll talk about what happened then. So just be aware of Wind Blast if you're near a table edge. But the dragon is posing a big threat. I haven't even scratched this one. I've done a couple of wounds to the sorceress on the dragon, but this one's fresh. Ogre Blade, Talisman of Protection, and so the Black Orcs are just manoeuvring. Those shades are going to go in and chop up my chariot. That'll be the end of him. They got great weapons. He's only got one wound left. Not sure where the wounds came from. Anyway, he did well. He chased one unit off the table and killed another two. So, and then those shades are going to kill that chariot. So those night goblins, they don't care about anything. And then that chariot's gone into the crossbows there. He's killed most of them, so he's eventually going to finish off those repeater crossbow unit. And then he's going to try and charge those Doomfire Warlocks later on. And the Great Keith appears here. He's jumped over the building. He's eyeing off this sorceress on the one-armed dragon. Surely he can take care of a one-armed dragon blue tacked to a bit of cardboard with 5 wounds left. But the dragon's going to manoeuvre out of his arc and fight another day.
Turn 5.
Okay, so we're into turn 5 and 6, I think. And then he's moved the dragon up again right on the table edge. So I can't resist anymore. I'm going to try and wind blast him off the table. So I set up the little goblin odd knob. Just manoeuvre the orcs around a little bit, the black orcs, just so we can see the dragon. And I roll a double 1, so I miscast. So I had the chance to get rid of the Dreadlord on the dragon by wind blasting him off the table. But it was to no avail, and then I thought, well, maybe the miscast table will help me out. It didn't help me out either. I think I took a wound and did some wounds to the Black Orcs as well. So the wind blast, it didn't work. But anyway, the dragon, he flames the Black Orcs, does a few wounds, and then I tried to wind blast him away, but it didn't work. Over here, the one-armed dragon gets out of the Great Keith's arc. And then the shades kill my chariot there. And then his dragon's going to go into my goblins in the middle. I think they failed their terror test, the little goblins in the middle. And then I have a chariot back here, which is protecting the war machines. And then in his last turn, he's just going to charge up there and kill that chariot. And those vital 90 points makes a bit of a difference because the scores end up pretty close. I think not much else happens. I'll lose the goblins in the middle. They get charged by the dragon, fail terror and everything. And that's pretty much the end of the battle. I don't get those Doomfire Warlocks either. They break and run and rally and I can't catch them. And it ends up being, I lost 1,032 points and the Dark Elves lost 824. So very close. It ends up being an 11-9 victory to the Dark Elves. So we're just mopping a few things up here, rushing through the last turn. But that's about it. The Great Keith survives. The Black Orcs survive. And so it's a victory to the Dark Elves. So anyway, stay tuned for round 3 coming up where we face a horde of giant rats. So we're playing Skaven in round 3 and there is a whole table full of giant rats. So that'll be interesting. So it was an interesting game as well because 2 dragons, I think you've just had 2 dragons, you could just send them at anything and they just wipe it out. Reform and then go after something else. They're pretty impervious to all the damage that you can do to them. I did everything I could. I tried to kill one. Probably wasted a lot of energy trying to kill one dragon. I should have just been trying to kill all the other stuff. But anyway, I tried. The boys did their best. Itchy Nuisance and Bowfire and the Fanatics let me down a bit in this game. You can't rely on them. They are a deterrent to like heavy cavalry and things like that, but they're no good for killing dragons. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching another Creaky Gamers production. We hope it wasn't too bad.